Happy release day! Cheers! This is hot chocolate. I'm trying to like show you without spilling. If you're watching this video, it's release day for the secret gift right here. I am so excited, and I am filming this video in advance a little bit so that I can have this video ready for you guys. And I thought I'd do something really fun and share my publishing costs and a breakdown for you of how I actually did manage to publish this book for less than $120. And before I go any further, let me just say, I've been on YouTube long enough to know that there are always those keyboard warriors who are like assuming things and they don't bother to listen to the rest of the video. So there's gonna be some disclaimers in this video, and the first one's going to be right here, which is that I did not sacrifice the quality of the editing and the quality of the cover. I did have a professional cover design and professional edits, and I have editorial training as well, so I am more confident in my ability. But again, I did not sacrifice those quality things. I just paid for them with time instead of money, if that makes sense. So we're gonna get into it. I'm very, very excited to do this breakdown, and I'm also going to include, just for kicks and giggles, I have the marketing costs on this paper as well. I hesitated to share, you know, because I feel like publishing costs are more, you're gonna have an editor, you're gonna have cover design, etc. Pretty standard things. But in this video, by popular demand, we are going to share my publishing or my marketing costs and the grand total of both of those put together, which, spoiler, is still less than anything I've ever spent on a fiction book before, which is wild to me. And before I get into that, let me just say, if you want to know what I've spent on past books, the rough range I would say is anywhere from, I want to say somewhere around $600 for my very first book, and as much as maybe $1,500 maybe. I have baby brain, so don't judge me if I'm totally off on that, but I will link those videos below so you can go watch this one on my first 3 books and the differences there. And then I have this video on the publishing costs for my 4-book fantasy series, which, whew, I spent a lot on that, but it was totally worth it. Yes, I have made that money back, and I'm really hoping to make the money back for this book as well, obviously. So I will be sharing with you the ROI, which is the return on investment estimates, where I kind of try to figure out how many books do I need to sell to make my money back, because my personal goal is to make your money back either release month or release week, even better, or even better before that. But again, I am recording this a week or so before release. What is today? It's Tuesday, so exactly a week before this book actually comes out. I'm pre-filming, so I don't know yet for sure. We'll find out, which means that I am going to save the results type talk for next week's video, when I'm hoping to vlog release day. And if you want to watch that, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell next to that subscribe button below, because I'm talking really fast because I'm so excited, because I hope to be able to share some fun stats next week, and we'll see what happens. I'm gonna be referring to my handy dandy spreadsheet here that I made for myself. Don't worry, it's nothing special. It's literally just the thing that I paid for and the dollar amount, and then I let it calculate it for me. But I am going to flash these things on the screen, so I'm probably gonna scooch over to like right here or so that this side of the screen can share all the numbers. All right, let's get into it. Like I said at the beginning, this video is going to have a lot of disclaimers. So the first one is that this is not by any means a teaching video, okay? Normally I do videos like how to do this and how to do that, and nothing against that. I love helping people, but in this case, this is not something I would have ever done on any of my past fiction books. In fact, it wouldn't have been a possibility. But even going forward, I don't know if I'll be able to duplicate it again. So this is more of a story time, really fun behind the scenes of how I honest to goodness tried to publish this book as cheap as possible. Just so you know, my original goal was $0, so I'm actually over budget, believe it or not. So the first cost is editing. There's some of you who are gonna be like, I know what editors are, I get it, I know how this works. But then there's others of you who are like brand new, and I don't just want to skim over it and assume that you understand. But I will try to do the very quick summary, and then I have editing videos you can go watch below if you want to know more about that. Basically, there's different types of editors you can get. So I've never actually hired a developmental editor, because I have critique partners and beta readers, and I work so closely with them that they are able to see developmental issues and help me work those out without needing to pay thousands of dollars for a developmental editor. So the editor that I typically work with is a copy editor. And then, believe it or not, my strongest editing skill set from my own past, which I won't go into that here, but I have kind of proofreading skills, and I don't do that professionally professionally, so please don't ask me to, but I can do proofreading and I'm pretty detailed. And so I can do my own proofreading. And then I also ask for help and try to just get as many eyes on the story as possible, because even if you are a good editor and you could do everything yourself, you will still miss things because you're so close to your story. There can be a word that's just slightly misspelled and you've just read it 20 times, so you don't even notice it anymore. You know what I mean? So even though I've always had editors tell me my writing is super, super, super clean, and it just gets more so with each book because I learn with each book and I get better, that doesn't mean that I catch everything. And so I still usually hire a copy editor. And in this case, with this book, my critique partner is a copy editor. At this point, The Secret Gift is actually my 11th published book. So after all of this time, I've seen myself grow. So with each book, I've gotten better and better, and I've grown and I've learned, and I've worked with my critique partner, actually, who is a copy editor, multiple times. And so I know how skilled she is. At this point, I felt confident enough in my abilities plus her abilities. I would not have done this in any of the past books. I did not feel ready then, but at this point, I felt ready to not have to pay for a professional editor. This is going to be the point where a lot of people leave, and that's fine. But again, this is not a teaching video. This is my personal story. I won't go this detailed on some of the others, although I do have a rant coming up. But anyway, we'll get into that. The next thing is the cover design. And so again, I did have a professional cover designer work on my book, don't get me wrong. But initially, I was paying absolutely nothing. I was paying $0 because my cover designer and I swapped I want to say talents. I don't know exactly how to say this, but again, I have editorial skills as a proofreader, and it's not something I do for just anybody, and it's not something that I take lightly. There's only 3 people in the world that I'm willing to proofread for, and that's my 2 critique partners and my co-author. But this was my co-author, and she needed help with her book, Meet Me at the Summit, which was being published. And so I was really happy to help her. I proofread her book and spent hours on it, and she designed my cover and spent hours on it. We both put in professional quality work. We did not pay each other. We just swapped abilities, I guess you could say. So if it's not clear already, that has been majorly beneficial. And again, the reason that I probably couldn't have done this in the past, because I haven't always had the connections that I have today. I've built them up. I've gotten to know people with different talents, and I'm able to swap abilities with them. But like I said, I ended up deciding to make this a paperback because as I was writing it, the book kept growing and growing, and I was like, okay, this is not the 5,000 word short story or 10,000 word short story that I thought it was going to be. This is a 30,000 plus novella. It's practically a novel. It's like almost 200 pages. As soon as I knew that, I talked to Mandy and I said, hey, can I upgrade this and pay the extra $50 to go to the next package, which would include a paperback? And she was totally fine with that, so she designed a paperback wrap for me, and that made my total cover design $50. Whew, now we're getting into the rant portion here, okay? Because the next fee was uploading to Ingram Spark. And I don't know how familiar you guys are with Ingram Spark. This is one of the publishing on-demand companies that I've worked with in the past, and they are the only company that I'm aware of, at least, that has a fee to upload your book. KDP is free, Draft to Digital is free. This fact that they have an uploading fee has always bothered me personally. I don't feel that it's fair, but I've gotten around it by having a code to make the uploading process free. I got it from a previous cover designer like 3.5 years ago or something. So I have not paid an uploading fee to Ingram Spark since Evelyn's Number, my debut novel. I'm like on my 11th book, right? And I am used to not having to pay this fee. So we get to that point where I go to upload the paperback that I've already paid for, and there's my code doesn't work. I spent I think just an hour or so that day Googling the internet trying to find a code to make the publishing process free, and I did find one, and it was booked. Just in case you're wondering, for a brief flash in the pan, that code worked. And I was assuming it was like any other code and that it would continue to work going forward, which was, I guess, my mistake, because that turned out to be a one-time use code, or at least it was only useful for uploading and not for revision. I'm sorry for those of you who are like, just numbers, give me the numbers, I want to know. But again, I have to do a disclaimer because there's so many judgy people out there, and there's people who are going to be like, well, why did you upload the book before it's ready? Unfortunately, that's another issue I have with Ingram Spark, which is that they make you upload a file. You absolutely have to upload something to kick off pre-orders. And FYI, this is super normal, not just in indie publishing, but also in trad publishing. I would say like 99.9% of the time, you have pre-orders going before a book is ready. Okay, this is totally normal. But to do that on Ingram Spark, you have to upload like a dummy file, basically, unless you just happen to have this perfectly finished, awesome, wonderful book and you're willing to wait forever and ever during a pre-order period, which is fine if you want to. But I prefer to upload it like a dummy file once I know I can make my pre-order date and I'm further in the process. And then once I finish the book, usually a month or so before release is my kind of sweet spot, that's when I upload the final file. So knowing that, you'll understand how I uploaded for free, didn't think anything of it. I thought, I'm gonna publish this book for $50. This is going to be amazing. And then I came back to upload the final file. I spent, like, honest to goodness, probably 3 hours that day searching for codes, signing up for random things, just absolutely trying everything I could possibly think of. I'm trying to like say this graciously while being frustrated because Ingram Spark has their reasons, and I reached out to them. Okay, I have my computer here. Let me just read this out to you. We had to limit promo code usage because they were being abused by bad actors loading hundreds of undesirable content into our catalog. Unfortunately, I had to significantly restrict codes. By the time I got that email, I had already had to push the book through and just pay the costs and pay $50 because I didn't want to risk that they would start printing the book and be printing, you know, the dummy file basically that I told you about. So it was a total of $50. And like I said, that was not part of my budget, so that was really frustrating to me. I'm gonna keep my rant short because I think I've said enough and I realize I'm rambling. But basically, this was the tipping point for me to not publish on Ingram Spark in the future. I am not okay with paying $50 when you can publish for free elsewhere. And again, I know what people are gonna start commenting. So the reasons that I have been using them despite my frustrations up to this point is because they are the only place I know that does paperback pre-orders wide, meaning to many companies like Book Depository, Barnes & Noble, Target. I'm trying to think and I'm blanking right now, but you get the idea. And then on top of pre-orders, they also offer hardcover options. And so I think there are other places out there. I know that you can obviously publish your paperbacks on Barnes & Noble. People have commented that many times on videos, but you guys, that's just Barnes & Noble. It's not wide. And I've heard of Lulu, I think is the company, but I've not really looked into it. So what I'm trying to say is that I don't have all the answers, but after this experience going forward, I will be searching for a different publisher that can do pre-orders specifically, hopefully publish wide, but in any case, pre-orders of paperback specifically before release, because currently KDP does not offer that. We're gonna close the rant out right here and move on to the last two costs. I'm almost done. So the next thing I did is I ordered a proof copy, which is this guy right here. And this is a Kindle Direct Publishing proof copy. So they put this not for resale bar across the cover all the way up till release day. It's not ideal, but I needed it to do my proofreading, as you can see right here. And KDP is fast. They got me this book in less than a week. It was only $7.12 to get this particular proof copy. In comparison to Ingram Spark, I have ordered a proof copy from them as well. I don't remember the exact date. I'll put it on the screen here for you, and it still hasn't arrived. And I got a shipping notification today that it just shipped out. So it's maybe gonna make it here in time for release, maybe. I would really appreciate that because it's the same exact book, but without this bar across the cover. Everything else is exactly the same, okay? Same amount of pages, haven't changed it, but not only is it taking much longer to get here, that proof copy cost me $12.15. Yeah. All right, drum roll for the total. The total cost of publishing, as I kind of hinted at in this title of the video, is $119.27. Woo, that's exciting. And by the way, I'm just gonna throw this out there before we get into the marketing. If you want to order a copy in either ebook or paperback on all vendors, it'll be linked below. It's already getting awesome reviews on Goodreads. People are really loving it, and I'm really excited about that. So if If you want to check it out, of course, it will be linked below. It's available on all vendors in paperback and ebook. Every time I say that, I sound so cheesy, but in all seriousness, I really hope you guys like the story. Okay, let's talk about marketing. So when I ordered that first proof copy from Ingram Spark, I only counted the shipping in the one book, but I actually ordered 3 books total, so 2 more books from Ingram Spark. And originally I was like, I might use these for a giveaway, or now I'm thinking I might give one to my mom for helping me proofread, and then the other one could be a giveaway. I haven't actually decided yet, but I'm counting it because I did buy them. So that was $7. We're not going to count the shipping because we already counted that earlier. Then I did 3 giveaways, and we're in the last one today. I believe today is the last day you can enter, which I'll get into that in a second. But the first giveaway, I did stickers and of course shipping from Stone Ridge Books. That was $11.50 for the stickers and the shipping. The second giveaway that I did, I decided to do a shirt and a sticker from my merch store right here. And I decided, you know, I don't know if people will want a shirt or not, so I just made it like any $30 or under value basically. So I do get a discount as the store owner, but of course I knew that there would also be shipping. So I expected it to be roughly around $30. It ended up being almost exactly $30, but because I had to use my discount to buy them, I had to buy them one at a time. So the first one was the shirt, and that was $24.95, and then the second one was a sticker, which was $6.59, so just under $32 total. The third giveaway was a $100 Amazon gift card, and again, there's 1 day left here in this giveaway, and that's running over on my Instagram, which I will link below as well if you want to go try to enter quick before it ends. But that one actually cost me $0 because I had been saving my credit card points intentionally. All of my baby doctor appointments had been super expensive, and I have been watching those points add up in excitement, hoping that I could use them for release day. So I did not actually have to spend anything. This was a credit card point purchase. Originally, I just want to pause here and say I was going to stop here. I had like a $50 marketing budget as well. I was like, I'll spend $50 on the publishing and $50 on marketing. Literally everything that I've done for marketing, I have done for free. So I have done tons of fun graphics, but I created them myself. I did a ARC tour, or I tried to set up an ARC tour. I call it my secret ARC tour because it wasn't like official, but I reached out to a ton of amazing bookstagrammers who I really admire. And I was like, hey guys, any chance you want a free book in exchange for an honest review? Because I would love to send you my book, and I love your photos. And so next week I will show you some of the amazing accounts that I got to work with because they did such a good job, and I love all the reviews for my like secret tour. So that was totally free because sending ebooks is free. So I spent $0. But then I got FOMO because I knew some authors who had run official art tours, and the one that I have worked with in the past is called Storygram Tours. And when I found out that they also have a TikTok option now, I was like, oh my gosh, that would be the coolest thing ever. I know that books blow up on TikTok, but I have no idea how to use it. Like, I have a hard time remembering how to log back into mine. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. And I decided to reach out to Storygram Tours, and I said, hey, is there any chance that you have availability? And I was like, oh, they're not gonna have room during release week. There's no way. I reached out like a couple weeks in advance, and they need like 2 to 3 months. So I thought to myself, well, I'll just reach out anyway because maybe this can extend the life of the book and I can do a tour in a couple months when they have room. So they did have room for me, and I have a tour set up for November. And the cost of that tour, this is our next one here for an Instagram/TikTok hybrid tour, is $225. In the past, I paid $150, so this was a little bit more, I'm assuming, for TikTok. But again, I have no understanding of that, so I would never be able to set that up for myself. I have not technically paid this yet, but I am going to count this and the next 2 costs as part of my marketing budget, even though it's happening in November and I haven't paid any of this yet. I got kind of estimates because I wanted to include them for you to get a better picture. So the tour is $225, but then I have to order physical paperback copies for everybody. And so that I'm gonna order in bulk. I'm gonna order 7 copies to come to my house. So I pulled up Ingram Spark, and it's going to be roughly $36.96. Although, after I'm saying this, I'm realizing that I don't have to order the books until after release, which means I can order from Kindle Direct Publishing and save money, because not only are their print copies cheaper, but so is shipping, and it's faster. So that's what I'm gonna do. But we're gonna just go with $36.96 because it'll probably be somewhat close to that, or more likely it'll be a lot less, but we'll just go with that. And then I have to separately mail the book out to each person. Fortunately though, a book is considered media mail in the US, and so that would be 7 books times about roughly $3.50, because that's about what it costs for me to send my books via media mail. If you didn't know, I have a few books left on my website. They're getting low, but I do sell signed copies on my website. And the nice thing is that in the US, a book is considered media mail, which makes it way, way, way cheaper to mail. So I'm overestimating just because I'd rather do a bigger number than a smaller number. I don't want to mislead you guys. So I'm guesstimating $24.50 to mail all of those out. I didn't realize this video would be so long, but it's so juicy. There's so much to share. So give it a thumbs up if you're enjoying it and you're still here. But the total marketing cost was $336.50. Now, drum roll, we're going to add up the publishing costs and the marketing costs for our grand total for publishing and marketing. The Secret Gift is $455.77. Oh my gosh, my foot's falling asleep. Let's talk ROI, return on investment, before we close out this video, because I want to talk about how many books I would need to sell to make my money back. And in the past, I did this video here on author royalties on KDP specifically for ebooks. But what I want to share in this video is that I actually have 4 very different royalties for this book. So the first one is KDP, or Kindle Direct Publishing's ebook royalty, which is $2.04. But the paperback is $4.82. So I make more than twice as much on a paperback. So thank you if you bought a paperback. I really appreciate it. And then Ingram Spark, this is I guess one tiny redeeming quality, even though after release, I don't think books come through Ingram Spark, but prior to release day, all the pre-orders are coming through Ingram Spark, and those get a royalty of $5.60. And if you're wondering why, I mean, technically I am too, but I'm pretty sure it's because they have thinner paper. So it's not as thick, and so the books are actually a little bit skinnier, believe it or not. That's my guess. And then, last but not least, I also get a royalty from Draft to Digital, which is ebook only, and the royalty on there is $1.78. So that's for publishing wide, aka, you know, Apple, Kobo, the Barnes & Noble ebook, and so on. So obviously you guys are not just going, we're gonna buy in one store and one store only. The purchases, my pre-orders are coming from all of these places, but I'm going to use the KDP numbers because it's a good average. So to make my publishing costs back specifically, just publishing costs, I would need to sell either 58 ebooks through KDP or 24 paperbacks. So, okay, for ebooks, I've already done that. For paperbacks, I'm trying not to rant too much about Ingram Spark, but they don't share their pre-order numbers until they start printing. I've called them on the phone and talked to them about this in the past. They were like, yeah, there's really no way to know until they start printing. So we're about a week from release. They have already started printing a little bit, but I won't know really how many pre-orders have come in until probably release day. So I can't say for sure until next week. So if you want to know, let me know in the comments, and I'll try to include that in next week's video, because I'll be vlogging on release day, and maybe that'll be a good stat to include. But we have to keep in mind that I then went on and spent over $300 more in marketing, which I did not intend to spend, but I got excited about it. So to make all of my costs back, total marketing and publishing, how many books would I need to sell to make back not just the publishing, but also the marketing costs? So my total investment of $455.77. This is a much bigger number. I would need to sell 227 ebooks, and this is again KDP, or 96 paperbacks, or obviously a mix of the two. So it's not both of those together, it's either or. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I have made my publishing costs back, and I'm just curious if I will make my marketing costs back. And obviously I spent more on marketing than I did on the actual publishing of this book, which is wild. But I'm just so proud of this book and how it turned out, and of the quality. It truly is my best book yet, and the fact that it can be my best book yet when I publish for $120 is just really encouraging, because it tells me, like, I don't know if I'll ever be able to get this exact setup again, but it tells me that it's possible. It tells me that I can bring my costs down as time goes on. Obviously I spent time instead of money, but it was worth it to me and I really enjoyed it. So that's like the very long story time version. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments what you think. I know there will be trolls. I know there will be people who are like, this is terrible, this is such a bad idea. You know what? You do you and I'll do me. I don't really care if people don't like it or not. This book is my best quality yet. I have so many good reviews already coming in and so many people are enjoying the story. I'm really proud of it. So I hope you guys like it. And FYI, next week I will be sharing some more of your lovely reviews. So thank you in advance. If you happen to leave them on release day, there's a good chance you might be in next week's vlog. So if you want to do that, leave a review quick and I will talk to you guys again very soon. Bye!